Now, the telecom department has issued directions to all operators to start using 13-digit mobile numbers for all existing machine-to-machine customers from October 2018 this year. The letter created a buzz that now all mobile numbers will also have 13 digits. However, that's not the case. And that is Kritika Saxena now joins us to explain what exactly the circular has to say. Kritika, so, 13-digit mobile numbers, but not for us, not for users like you and me.
Oh, absolutely. That's the clarification. We don't have to change our numbers, but people who have smart devices like smart TVs, connected cars, smart homes will have to change to the 13-digit number. Now, just to help you put this into perspective, what this essentially means is that machine-to-machine devices are going to be impacted, and this is related to any machine that needs to be connected via network connectivity to another machine, but needs a SIM card. So that SIM card is now going to change. Now, as I was specifying, this isn't related to phone numbers, but yes, there are a couple of points that you need to remember if you are someone who does have an IoT device. This even could be related, could be connected to devices like mobile communication, like Alexa. The timeline for this is the 1st of July, but if you do have, that's for new users, but if you do have an existing device, you have time between October to December to be able to apply to that. But let's just understand and discuss this further. Joining in now is Nikhil, Pahwa, the founder of Medianama. Nikhil, thank you so much for joining in on the show. Firstly, there was confusion that this notification applies to mobile phones, but yes, as Ritu and I was specifying, that is not the case. It applies to machine devices. Help us understand what that essentially means.
Yeah, so look, the way people are looking at it is that in the future we're going to have a lot more connected devices than people. So, for example, all your vehicles will be connected, your electricity meters will be connected to the internet. So, this helps, let's say in case of electricity, it helps all the utility companies understand household consumption of electricity, and the data goes over the mobile networks to the utility in the same way that data from your cars or from your bikes will go directly to the car company or the vehicle company and give them data about the performance of the vehicle, etc., etc. So we are going to get a lot more connected devices, which is why there are SIMs that are going to be in these devices, and therefore what the government has done is it's tried to come up with a 13-digit number for it, because then this will be distinct from, let's say, your mobile number or my mobile number. And the reason they're doing this is because the number of devices is going to be much larger than the number of people.
Okay, but Nikhil, help us make sense of the 13-digit number. Why 13? Why not 12 or 11? Is it because they're running out of the 10-digit sequencing?
Yeah, exactly. So, if you remember, let's say many years ago, we used to have 5-digit numbers for our landlines. And then we moved to 8-digit landline numbers now. So, therefore, there is a possibility of running out of numbers with time. And because they're estimating that there's going to be large number of connected devices, so the number of numbers available for the devices will be much greater as we move from 10 to 11, 11 to 12, 12 to 13. I think the assumption is, and I don't know why they've chosen 13 instead of 12 instead of 14, but the assumption is that 13 should be sufficient for covering lots and lots of devices and billions of devices in the country.
Okay, Nikhil, one final question, just to understand the impact a bit more. I know you explained what M2M is, but can you give us some examples? Just dumb this down broadly. What are the examples that will be impacted, examples that we use on a day-to-day basis?
So for the number of devices are going crazy, right? So there was, it's called the Internet of Things. So what happens is, let's say you might have an AC, and I've actually demoed this at home. I had a box that was connected to my air conditioner, and then while I was on my way home, I could open an app and start the air conditioner so that when I walk in, the room would already be cool. So, for that, that box which is connected to the AC needs to have a SIM card in it. So it's a machine and it is communicating to another machine. I'm not, as a human, I can't call it up from that perspective. So in the same way, you might have, let's say, you might have a situation where your car can have a SIM and that data is being sent to the company which has manufactured the car, And there could be an automated system that the moment there's a sensor which says that there's something that is potentially problematic in your car, it can send you an alert. You know, in other instances, let's say if there is a car that is speeding, you know, so most taxis have this, that there is a SIM card which sends an alert to the taxi company saying that this particular car is going above the speed limit or this taxi is going too fast. So then they can get back to the driver and have, you know, conversations with them about not exceeding the speed limit. So the utility and the uses of this are going to be so many that I can't even imagine what all can happen with this. But all of this requires mobile connectivity, and it generates data from your vehicle, which is then sent to someone who's going to come back with feedback and analysis on the basis of how they compute it.